What's going on, everybody? This Afro think tank and the really cute black goat I've been exploiting since I've been in Nigeria, right? I have two of them, by the way, but I can't hold both of them and hold this camera at the same time. All right, so I did something that I never, ever, ever, ever do. I went on one of those FBA live chats. And I'm happy to say, as Pan-Africans, pro-blacks who are currently fighting against the infection of ignorance of foundational black Americans, not to be confused with foundational black Africans, by the way. I went on there, right? I tried to find the most reasonable FBA group to try to talk to them, right? But one thing I didn't do, they want to join the live. I said, let me go into the comment section and see, before I join the live and waste my brain cells, let me see if I can get one question asked, right? Answered. And so they were talking about delineation, right? And how that's what they're all about. They were kind of bouncing around from we about delineation to we about reparations. We about delineation. We about reparations. So I said, okay. I said, how do you plan on getting those reparations? Simple question. Right? Then I asked, what political institutions are you going to lobby to get a bill down to get something on the floor for African Americans for reparations? Then I asked, what non-governmental organization is going to sponsor or lobby on behalf of African Americans for reparations? Let me tell you something. You would think that I went in there and start talking about their mamas and their underage daughters. They was upset. Oh, Afro think tank. Everybody in the chat, they was just talking shit. They was like, oh, Afro think tank, you musty, stinky, Afro stink tank. I was like, I didn't answer nothing. I was like, oh, here we go. Y'all just mad because I'm in the sun in January. I'm like, all right, I get it, right? Afro think tank, yo musty. All I got was, yo musty dreadlocks, yo stinky dreadlocks. I was like, so, if it's about delineation, what are you guys delineating to? I'm telling you, I was not even disrespectful. The host got offended. He was like, hey, you see, y'all trying to get them guys you catching, and see they coming in here asking, see those Pan-Africans? Now keep in mind that, the topic was Pan-Africans are trying to do something to them, right? That's why I clicked. All right, I tried to be reasonable, right? All the guys did was talking shit about me in the comment section, while the host, I know, bro. You ain't got to tell me. I'm sorry that you had to witness it, to be honest. And I started to lose brain cells, but I held on. Let me tell you, I was there for like an hour, right? Which was about 59 minutes more than I probably should have. All right. Then did be God honest truth. And the whole time they were talking, all they were doing was complaining about how, the only thing they were really saying, I'm trying to think about it because they weren't saying, when I say nothing, I mean, they were saying nothing. They were saying absolutely nothing. They just kept complaining about how we were enslaved and how a white man took this from us, right? And they still think that they are a mix between some mysterious group of Africans and the continental Africa. They kind of do know they're African, but they don't want to be African, right? They kept saying, oh, he over there eating mud cakes and stuff. Like every time I asked a reasonable question that anybody that want to be taken seriously should ask in a non-confrontational, non-threatening way, they timed me out. They punished me in the chat. They like, I was like, you gonna punish me for asking you how are we gonna get reparations? I even put the word we in it. I tried to be inclusive. They wasn't having that shit. The nerve to go in there and ask a question. Then they were talking about white folks, right? They're like, yeah, white people took everything from me. Then I said, well, how do you plan on getting back what the white people stole from you? Do you know they was like, you guys are always blaming white people for everything. You Pan-Africans are blaming white people for everything. I'm like, So I'm like, okay, all right. I'm trying though. I'm like, this is like special education, right? Hardcore special education. All these people are just, we got a serious educational problem in America. right? You know how stupid MAGA is, how we look at MAGA, and we're like, how can you be so stupid? How can you be so dumb, right? I mean, I know. It's a damn shame. FBA they're stupid. We don't got nothing to worry about. Listen, I see why Tariq and all those other guys pander to this group of people because they're so stupid. You can get them to do anything, right? Anything. And it's funny when they say Tariq's not their leader. But I'm not gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. He can't take it no more. He can't take the shit. I see why Tariq Nasheed plays games with these guys. I see why he puts minimal effort and he can keep these idiots at, coming back and back. I see why certain YouTubers pander to them with no shame because idiots are very useful. All right. The whole time it was a round robin circle jerk of weak black men complaining about how everybody's against them. Everybody's trying to take something from them. We need to delineate, but they don't know the definition of delineation. We want reparations, but we don't need politics to get reparations. We don't need money to get reparations. Tariq is not our leader because Tariq said he's not our leader, But Tariq said he's not our leader. How many times you going to say Tariq's not our leader because Tariq said he's not our leader? I'm like, but anything Tariq say, you repeat. Tariq literally owns the LLC. I think that part they know Tariq owns LLC, FBA LLC. Like they know this, but they really don't want to believe it. They're more interested in separating themselves from other Africans because their feelings are hurt. Because when they was in 11th grade, not even probably, I don't think they made it to the 11th grade, to be honest. When they was in elementary school, they tried to make fun of an African, and then that African probably had some juice and said they had a big head. After that, they done lost it. Like these people, these African Americans have arrested development. You know how those Nigerians, YouTubers in Nigeria was completely embarrassed by the Nigerians when ISO Speed came and they were completely embarrassed by this small group of Nigerians that were begging ISO Speed. You know how you get that embarrassment? That's pretty much what we got here. We have a group of really, really uneducated African Americans. Their whole perspective on life is based on uneducated perspectives. But the good thing is they're not capable. FBA is not capable. Even their leader, because he's not smart. He's slick. Tariq is slick enough, right, to take advantage of them. Like he's functional, right? But I'm talking about the arrested development that we have in America with the African American men. Mainly African American men, and they're mainly my generation and above. They're my generation and my mama's generation. That's what I see because my grandma's generation, right, the 60s. The 50s, anybody who was an adult or active adult, teenager adult in the 50s and 60s, they were Pan-African black revolutionaries. They understand, right? But my mama's generation and my generation, we grew up during our active, young, active, aware years. We grew up during the era at which we were dealing with the consequences of our grandparents and their accomplishments through the civil rights movement. We grew up being affected by the federal government's institutional attack on the black Americans. You're talking about the crack era, right? These are crack babies. This is the crackhead era. These FBAs are crack babies for the most part. Uneducated African Americans who didn't finish school, like legitimately. I know I be saying that shit, but they didn't. They did not finish school. These are the ones that fell between the cracks. These are the ones. these are. It's like if they didn't go to jail and get some sort of constructive, like maybe they joined the Islamic group or something like that. These are the ones that didn't join one of those groups. They didn't join the Hebrew Israelites, right? These are the ones that don't qualify to even join these little groups, right? At all, right? These are the ones that was watching Sonetta and following all the pseudoscientists. That's who these guys. These are the guys who used to, like, remember when Sonetta was hot, when he was the only one? These are the guys who was watching Sonetta and they were absorbing everything, every pseudo-intellectual person who came on there and talked about. These are these guys, right? They are not a threat. They are annoying because they pretend to represent African Americans, right? So as Pan-Africans, as pro-blacks, as common sense black people, we have to continue to fight the ignorance. That's what we're fighting. We're not necessarily fighting our brothers and sisters. We are fighting the ignorance. That's the war that's in the mind. That's where this war is happening. War is fought on many different battlefields. And right now, the battlefield is of the mind, right? That's why we have to wake up from our slumber, right? Waking up to become aware of our surroundings. These FBAs are not aware. They're not aware. They're alive, but they're not. You understand? They don't know what's going on, right? And it's sad. It was real sad. And I didn't talk no trash at all. I was very, very respectful. I got timed out. I got bullied. They bullied me, right? I mean, I was everything in the book. Musty, stinky, nasty. My dreads sucked. I'm over here eating mud and shit. And I'm like the only answer to any of my rational questions, right, that you should be able to answer was insults. Oh, I'm also a tether too, right? Because, tethers, they keep redefining tether. And the fact, here's the thing, guys. Any YouTuber using the word tether as an identifier for anybody outside of Africa, they're the enemy. To try to even codify a word like tether to identify another African person, that's just so you can make up your own internal xenophobic word equivalent to nigger with a hard ER. Like the fact that you adopt that and use that to identify your brothers and sisters, anybody doing that, they're a lost cause. Because that shows you that they don't really care about their brothers and sisters. They barely care about themselves, to be honest, right? So that's why I don't use the word tether, right? Because they're trying to create their own word like nigga. Because they know nigga won't hit hard because they're black, right? This is part of their kissing the ass of whiteness, to the point to where they've given white people a new word because they know white people can say tether. They can't say nigger, but they can say tether, to the point that we got right-wing conservatives calling our brothers and sisters tethers. That's how sad it is. That's how disrespectful it is. And that's how I'm going to take it, right? And I mean, I lost so many. I'm never doing that again. I see why they come over to Pan-African spaces, Pan-African chats, because even the level of ignorance that happens in all these chats, right? On top of that, is boring. Because they all, how I be making fun. I be like, they really sound like that. Like, God honest, they really sound like, I just want to delineate. We're about delineation, and that's it. Dude told me, he said, this FBA group is about delineation. The other ones may be about reparation, but we're mainly about delineation. But you got Pan-African as your title because you want Pan-Africans to engage with you, right? And when a Pan-African engages with you, the only thing they can do is insults. They call me, they say I stink. Why? Because you see the shine on my skin? How? Because I got facial hair? People with locks and facial hair, they always get called stinky by ignorant people who don't understand the power and what locks symbolize, right? They see the natural shine on my face because it's not ashy, because most of them FBAs, they ashy. That's what it is, all right? They see the shine and they like, how do you, through the screen, how do you know that I stink? Huh? How do you know that I stink, right? Like, it's like basic elementary school insults. But the difference between me and them, or Pan-Africans and them, is that when I was in middle school and we used to talk trash, right? When I got joned on, or when I joned on somebody, I didn't take those psychological traumas with me as an adult. I grew up. These guys, They took their elementary school trauma with them all the way into their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's what they did. It's arrested development. Hey! That chicken talking shit. Hold up, man. He messing up my goddamn video. Huh? Motherfucker shit. Anyway, sorry about that. But, chicken was talking shit. He wasn't, when that goddamn guinea fowl on his face, he don't be talking shit. But then he talking shit early in the morning. Anyway. Yeah, we ain't got shit to worry about, guys. Nothing. Nothing to worry about at all. FBA, foundational Black Americans, are not a threat. But we must remain vigilant and make sure that FBA are relegated to the small xenophobic hate group that they are. Put them in a box, and we just have to understand that we're always going to have ignorance within our community, right? And the only thing we can do is keep our hand down and ready to pull up those who decide to become enlightened and to pull themselves out from their ignorance. All right. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.